device. 36 gigabytes of data, unlimited calls and texts, plus all the social media and WhatsApp you need to share every festive moment. Plus, spin the wheel for even more prizes. Switch to Flow Prepaid today and get your next combo on the house. Sign up in-store today or visit online at discoverflow.co. We keep your Christmas rhythm flowing.
WhatsApp us or call us at 457-9997. Activated Mornings on WEFM 99.9 is on now.
And we're back for another segment of our Activated Mornings program here on the Flow Activated Mornings program on WEFM.
Good morning to Flow.
And we are joined by, well, this morning, Rajiv is sitting in for Maka. And of course, we have our usual Monday morning co-host, Dr. Gerald Thompson. Doc, what's up?
My boy, thank you very much.
Doc, we're not hearing you.
Oh, maybe not hearing me.
It's down there. Doc?
Are you hearing me?
Second?
Are you hearing me?
No, not hearing you.
Yes,
all right, give us un momento.
Should I go back out? Go back
all right,
in?
Doc?
Should I go back out and come in?
All right, give us a second, please. All right, Doc, try again.
Yes, you hearing me now?
Yes, but project your voice is a little on, unless I need to turn up something.
You think I'm going to have to go out and come back in again?
No, I think you probably just need to project your voice a bit.
No. What's that?
Raji, you saying your microphone low.
Huh? My microphone may be off?
No, it's low.
Yes, I kind of found that it hearing you, the sound was a little low from my end too. That's put in the headphones.
Okay. All right. So listeners, you could probably just let us know if you're hearing Doc clearly, and we can go from there. But Doc, good morning and Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year. My gosh.
You sound so nasal. You sound like you're sick.
I actually am sick.
It's a good thing we're doing this via StreamYard.
Yes.
I can't afford to get sick right now, Doc.
I know. That's one of the reasons. I mean, I couldn't find my car keys this morning. I don't know why but I've been down all weekend. I have been really and truly, sick. And I don't have a good doctor to help me out and so forth through these periods. I gotta find a good doctor. You know what I'm saying?
That's the thing. Who takes care of those who takes care of others?
But I would think somebody like Doc would know a good doctor and have a good doctor on call, one of your colleagues.
I don't think Doc
let me tell you something. They were great doctors, but all of them was, Doc, you know what to do. Fix up. I can't tell you what to do and so forth. There's a difference in the way in which the professional relationship gets reversed. But
all right. So for very selfish reasons, I'm happy that you weren't able to find your car keys
this
morning.
Thank you.
All right. Doctor, thank you very much.
Right. Thank you for thanking me.
All right. So let's go. So we're going to be talking a little bit about the kidnapping arrest of President Maduro, reactions, implications, and concerns. So we know that we started speaking a little bit about it during Life's commentary, and we're just going to explore a little bit more here with Doc this morning, all right? So before we get into it, though, we are going to play a very quick, a short video in relation to the reactions of Venezuelans regarding the kidnapping of Maduro.
Christian Benavidez explains in Miami there's optimism and celebrations.
Across South Florida, Venezuelans erupted in celebration.
This is the biggest joy that I've had in like decades. It's amazing.
Hundreds poured into the streets in Doral, where 40% of residents are of Venezuelan descent.
Oh my God, I'm gonna start crying. It is pretty awesome.
We met Andrea Ramos, who fled Venezuela in 2016, one of nearly 1 million Venezuelans who have settled in the U.S.
We've been disappointed so many times before that it is just like hard to believe that it is actually happening.
Roughly 8 million Venezuelans, more than a quarter of the country's population, has fled in the last 10 years, driven out by economic collapse and political instability. Venezuelans at the border with Colombia cheered, but in Caracas, the mood was far more sober. Long lines for food, medicine, and basic supplies stretched for blocks as people braced for an uncertain future. Hard times are coming, but I hope it will bring significant change to Venezuela, this woman said, while some Maduro supporters took to the streets to protest his capture. We are asking for the liberation of our president, this woman says. Back in Florida, 25-year-old Christopher Moreno hopes Maduro's arrest could lead to a better future in Venezuela.
I'm sorry. It's just a feeling, I can't explain it. We make a life here because we had to, not because we wanted to. So we really want to go back.
Christian Benavides, CBS News, Miami.
All righty, so that was the reaction there of Venezuelans, both within Venezuela themselves and those within the diaspora. Their reactions to the kidnapping. I almost fell into that, boy. All right, to the kidnapping of Maduro. So, I suppose before I give my thoughts, what are your thoughts? Let's start with Doc, because I heard a bit of yours, Rajiv. So, Doc, your thoughts.
Do you know that commentary? The media, if you notice, it pointed out what was happening in Doral. I know Doral well. It's a very interesting area. And there's a couple of business people there that I do business with. And they're correct. A lot of Venezuelans settled there and so forth, many over the last 10 years. But when they spoke of Venezuela, they said there was a sober response with long lines for food and medicine. Somehow they didn't outline the massive outpouring in Venezuela in support of Maduro and now the vice president in Venezuela. Now, clearly, it is particularly tough. Sorry about that, Roleza. It is,
and everybody else had the life.
boy, I tell you something. It is particularly tough in terms of being able to overcome sanctions, blockades. I think that if you have a thriving economy and there is an attempt to try and destabilize your economy, it can be effective. And we see in a number of countries around the world, if there's blockade, you can't get your goods, you can't get your oil out, your tankers are seized, that would bring in money. I used to be a member of something called Citgo. Venezuela owned a company in the United States of gas station called Citgo. And they were really reasonable. They supplied the oil. Imagine Venezuela owned this company. It was confiscated. So they lost billions of dollars as a result of the loss of the economy. What could that have done to an economy? So people talk about this mismanagement and so forth. No, clearly the issue is when you hear Trump saying that we now own the oil. We're going to sell it. We are taking back because it's our oil, it's our land, and so forth. I couldn't quite understand that. I've heard mention of Panama, the Panama Canal. I've heard Greenland. I've heard a number of other things. I don't quite understand how Venezuela could be the land that is owned by any element of the United States. I don't know if it's that they did some investment and they were sufficiently compensated for it. But I am missing that. Why someone is saying we are coming in and we are going to take your oil and sell it. Take it or leave it. What's also important is that the person who won the Nobel Peace Prize, who was purported to be the entity to take over, really, when you listen to persons in the last election, did they really win? You know what I mean? Did the current opposition there win? And the media is able to say there was fraud, and the election was riddled and fiddled and so forth. And the question is, are all those things true? But I suppose that one is forced to believe this. But I think that there's a shift in that by extracting Maduro, the question is, how much has things changed? How much will the vice president, if she could secure her own security, because if you have your bodyguards and so forth, taking money, millions of dollars to really betray you, that's a big issue. You know, so let me stop there.
Okay. All right, Rajiv.
It's not too different from a lot of what Doc said, especially with the security situation, because I think it's according to an article from the New York Times. I think it's around 80 or so guards were killed in the nighttime operation.
I don't know. I read something like 40 persons.
According to official sources from Venezuela, there's no exact number quite yet.
Okay.
It's to the last time that I read, but the only thing, people that put the number to it was the New York Times. But and there was bombings and stuff like that. So it's not in the craziest thing to expect that 80 people have died in the operation. And, you know, Trump has already made further threats to say that, hey, the VP, if you don't do what we want you to do, we might have to make another strike again. So it's like...
But so far, they say she's cooperating, so... yeah.
But then... Release a sorry to interrupt there. No, I think that the report back from Maka said that she's cooperating, and then she went and did a speech and said, no, I'm not cooperating.
And this is the trouble that I have.
There's a lot of different streams of propaganda coming through right now, because in the early stages, they had said that Delcy Rodriguez, the vice president, had fled to Russia. And then
I didn't hear that.
Yeah, in the lot of streams of information was out. It's like about 5 different places were reporting that. But then when you actually look at what was going on in Venezuela, she had already, you know, taken control and said that, you know, we're calling for the release of our president, because they're still saying that he is their president. They, according to what Perez Santana said yesterday on Issue at Hand, there's only a few scenarios where he would be deemed not the president. He has to be either mentally unwell or he has passed away and stuff. And neither of these things have happened. He has been kidnapped. So
yeah. All right. So just to add my commentary to this, when I woke up on Saturday morning, I was like, what? For me, my whole thing is at the start of the year, right? It's like, I don't like the year starting in this kind of way, right? But nonetheless, it was not something that I can say that was totally unexpected. What it is that I do have an issue with, right? And even in me saying that I have an issue with it, it has been happening for centuries, where one nation would go and invade another territory under the claims of national interest, right? Or even, let's say they're trying to free the citizens of that particular country, etc. There's always going to be some excuse, right? In this case with Trump, while it is that Maduro is being charged with narco-terrorism and something else, the thing of it is that we always knew it was going to be about oil, right? But I do have a big issue with any country, and this is what it is for me. It's like, to me, it's like all hell could break loose at this point in time.
Narco-terrorism, cocaine importation, conspiracy, and weapons violations.
Okay, thanks. So it's like at this point in time, what is to say that Grenada can't invade us? And who is going to stop them?
Yeah.
Right? We all were up in arms when Russia did it with Ukraine, right?
Mm-hmm.
We have had issues with this happening for decades, whether it be the US or whether it be in another country. And to me, it's like, at what point or where will it end, right? What it is that I'm truly concerned with, or what it is that we're not concerned and I'm curious about, and I haven't seen any sort of reports, or maybe I haven't delved deeply into it as yet, is what are exactly the reactions of Americans who voted for Trump? What are their thoughts with regards to this? Now, I know that, well, listening news this morning, they said that there's a bit of a mixed opinions. Even persons on his side are not in full agreement with it, because it's, again, what gives him the right, without any sort of Senate agreement or some Senate being, the Senate agreeing on it. What just gives him the right to up and do it?
You know what's strange? I saw some people who were Republicans who were against Trump in recent months or the last year have come over to his side now that he's gone through this operation. And it seems like, looking from a financial perspective, to the stocks, oil stocks, and so for them, look to be trending in a positive direction post the operation too. So there are some people that are just blatantly selfish, and they look at, hey, well, this is going to benefit
and this
us.
is it. So is it a case where Americans, regardless of what happens or what is done or what how the rest of the world views them, is it always going to be America first?
For the Republicans, for the most part, it seems like yes, because the left-leaning, the Democratic supporters and politicians have come out and condemned the actions and said, hey, this is wrong. You're breaking international law. People like Bernie Sanders and amongst them, Kamala Harris, who was Trump's opponent back in 2024. Have come out and said, this is wrong and so on. Then they have the Republicans hitting back, and they're saying, oh, you just third world, this sympathizers and stuff like that. So it's kind of like a mixed bag.
Yeah, and then to note that now on the list is Colombia is on the list, Mexico and Cuba. You know, so what is going to stop him from saying we're going to go into these other three countries and find grounds too? What is going to stop him? You know what came to me as well too? What is going to stop him from, let's say, going into Guyana? Given that Guyana now has oil and everything else. And remember too, that part about Venezuela wanting to claim part of Guyana because they're saying that
this is why I would say Guyana is safe in the sense that U.S. companies operate the oil industry in Guyana.
But then would it benefit the citizens of Guyana in the end? According to the government of Guyana, as I say right now, the programs and so have benefited from the revenue that they've been getting from the oil and so on. So, yes, Doc?
Let me just come in here. You see, there's a technical reason also behind this. A lot of the oil refineries in the southern part of the United States were built and designed to basically process oil similar to that coming out of Venezuela. Yeah, they could get oil from a number of other places, but the retooling and the refurbishing of those oil processing facilities is just a tremendous cost. So not getting oil from Canada and the break in relationship where Canada has now built a lot of facilities on its west coast to ship things out, Vancouver and those other places. It means that they're no longer dependent on pipelines, getting it down to the south and all that kind of thing. So there can be a crisis in the next couple of years where America doesn't have the ability to process oil and have sufficient oil that is able to run the economy. So it makes sense. Go and take the oil from somewhere. You understand? Because you don't want in a year and a half, 2 years to find you in a financial crisis. You can't get oil. Oil prices have gone up.
I just want to be able to have the audacity that the US has.
And they've been having that audacity since before we're born. So.
Yeah, I just want to be able to have even a smidgen of audacity that the US has.
Relisa, if you say, we want Greenland, we basically come into the table, we give you a good price. We fix you up better than Denmark. We fix you up better. Canada, you're the 51st state. We want you, basically, you know what I mean? You're a waste of time country. Panama, we're coming back for the canal. And so all these other things that you mentioned, Mexico, Colombia, and so forth, it is a situation where people love to know that their government is exercising power. And people are afraid of them. And they could go in and do anything. Yeah, there are 1 or 2 persons, like Bernie Sanders, say, oh, that's not right. And so, but other people say, yeah, we basically are tough.
Yeah.
Give it to them. And so
but would you like to have well, in our case, a prime minister like that, though?
People also like to have a strong leader. I think that's what it is. And when they see somebody who's not afraid to crack a few eggs to make an omelet, that's just how they would look at it. And also with this Venezuela thing too, I think under Biden, the the price that was on Maduro's head was raised. So it's not like, this is not like a Trump only policy. This is America's policy, no matter whether it's a Democratic president or a Republican president.
You know, Doc, I'm not sure what your commentary was. Was your commentary going to be anything in relation to CARICOM's statement or the leaders?
No, I was going to mention a continuation of this subject.
Okay, so maybe I could leave off something that something that I'm thinking of when we were as we brought up the talk about leaders and would I want a leader like that. I'll probably leave it for Doc's commentary, the point that I want to make. But
raise it now.
No, so we would take a break and then we would come back. All right? Yeah. All right. So with that, we've come to the end of this segment. We will return at 8:45 with Doc's commentary.